Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Totally Indian Football Show. I'm your host Siju, and today I have a very special guest. Well, indeed, all my guests have been specially this year, but this gentleman, I'm sure most of us would be familiar with him. He is the La Liga India regional head, Mr. Jose Antonio. Thank you so much, sir, for joining on the show, and a warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, and you've been the managing director of La Liga India since 2017, if I'm not wrong.
That's correct.
Yeah, let's kickstart this conversation with how has your experience been so far? And, what have you gathered all along that you've been in India?
Well, I can say it's been intense, even with a pandemic in between. No, it's been a really thrilling experience, and it's in a sense my job here is to promote La Liga, the Spanish Football League, and our clubs. No, to increase our awareness and increase our number of fans. That's the foundation of everything else we do. But also, I believe, I've been lucky to be a privileged witness of a really relevant moment for Indian football. No, it's a moment when you are building your football. No, the future of your football. Many things are changing in the right direction. No, so on the one hand, it's been exciting to see the connection that many Indian fans have to La Liga and to La Liga clubs. On the other hand, it's been also quite exciting to see the growing passion of football that India is showing.
Right. Now, in the past, and we've seen in the coming years, in the years that has gone by, in fact, that leagues come in, the international leagues come in. There are clubs that have come in either to play friendly games or build their business here. We have some academies active here, but the whole question that reigns over is what is the benefit or what is the takeaway for Indian football here? Because to be honest, we all know, yes, for all the international leagues and clubs, when they come down here, it is a market, right? Because you have La Liga viewing audience as well over here. We have fans who are growing. I mean, more than just the top teams in La Liga. We have other clubs from the mid tables as well. The fan base is growing. So, if I had to ask you, how have you probably kind of enabled La Liga to also help in the growth of the overall Indian football?
Well, I put it this way: football works as a global consolidated ecosystem, and India pretty much is not part of it yet. I mean, of course, it is part of it, but not at the top level. Just think about this. Not a single Indian player has ever played for a top La Liga or Premier League or Bundesliga. So while other countries, I mean, you have from mega stars like take Mohamed Salah, no, or good players like Japanese Inui, or Espanyol basically having bigger, larger audiences in China than Real Madrid or Barcelona because of a Chinese player playing for them. So that's the next step that Indian football needs, no, to break the barriers that kept them apart for international football. No, the day that an Indian player plays at La Liga or a Premier League or a Bundesliga or Serie A, that will increase the awareness for Indian football, and the more money will come for Indian football. So international football coming to India, it helps increase the awareness on football and the relationship of football at the foundations, at the grassroots. We can be an example for Indian football institutions, can be a sample, but also we can leave something behind. No, so for example, when we have Spanish coaches leading our La Liga schools project, the same as Barcelona has with the Barça Escolas or other international organizations, we are helping to increase the level of coaching of India. No, so it's a long-term path. There's no shortcuts in football.
Right. I mean, the facts that you stated out there, it's something that we all know and we are aware of. And hopefully one day we would see. Right now, the immediate thing would be to break it, and make it big, probably in the Asian side of things, and then slowly go out beyond that, right? But coming back to my question once again, yes, we have seen players, huge amount of influx of Spanish players, in fact, and even coaches that have come and gone, and even continue to remain. I think some of the top names across the ISL teams have been Spanish players. The influence has been high up there, but they come, they benefit. Yes, the teams also benefit, but again, I think it's a similar question I'm asking. But as an ecosystem that you mentioned, yes, probably the global ecosystem, India is yet to be there. But how has La Liga operations heading out in India, or how do you rather see in the coming years to also probably work closely with the Indian football stakeholders, and and build that, or help build that gap that's lacking over there?
Well, Indian football has to do the job. I mean, we can be a support or a side help, but the center of the decisions have been taken by Indian football stakeholders. We can't. No, and I think any one international organization, we can help. We can be a model. We don't have the knowledge of the internal ways as to being the relevant actor. No, so as I said, it's a part. You need to be keep growing and be part of that international global ecosystem. No, and we can be models. No, and once and step by step, with the influence of bringing international coaches or having Indian players training abroad, those steps are being taken already. But results will take maybe some time to be seen. It takes time. It won't be in 5 or 10 years, maybe, but things will happen because the foundations are being set by you, by the Indian football stakeholders.
So, what has been the purpose? Why did La Liga have an establishment in India? And what have you guys been able to do so far in the Indian soil?
Well, you said it before, no, and we cannot fool nobody. India is a strategic market for La Liga. If you consider the volume of business that sports in general, but more specifically football, moves in India compared to other key markets for us, such as Middle East, Northern Africa, United States, or China, India is a very small market. Doesn't move that much money yet. But because of the size of the economy and the size of the population, India is called to be a huge market in the years to come. So we are basically starting, after 6 years, we are still starting our relationship with India and with the market and with Indian fans. This has to be a long-term operation, no? So we had to be here. So what we have been doing is what we had to keep doing, no? So basically, number one is to establish a strong two-way relationship with Indian fans. That's the foundation of everything else. Everything we do in the market, through digital, through fan events, even any marketing event, no, anything is geared to increase our fan base in the Indian subcontinent. That's the stage we are. In other markets, our focus is more commercial. At the end, is what we are. Basically, that's the nature of professional sports. You need to increase your business. No, take IPL, take BCCI, take La Liga, take EPL, take NBA. At the end, is our job. No, we need to have a strong connection with the fans for increase our business profile. That's what professional sports is all about. But this expresses in many ways. So to work with football schools, to work with kids under our brand, and with Spanish coaches, that's a way of small way of working the fan base. To work as we do with the rural league out of Andhra Pradesh with 3,000 boys and girls playing football, maybe no, it makes no immediate sense in terms of business, but it does make sense in terms of building a gentle image and a better image of sports. If we focus the image of sports on big stars driving Ferraris, or problems, management problems, or accusations of wrongdoing, we are missing something. So sports move a lot of money. It does. So we need to give a little bit back, and sometimes that little bit is just a connection to fans, boys and girls, who probably never be able to go to a match in Europe, no, or even to a IPL match in India, no. So we need to get closer to them because those are our fans too. That's our market. I mean, the market is no longer those who can go to the stadium. It's no longer. I mean, if is way bigger. I mean, look at the last tender of audiovisual rights of the English Premier League. For the first time, they are getting more money, more television money from the international markets than for the local market. That basically tells you the trend.
Right. Now, as you mentioned about the project that you were involved in Andhra Pradesh, right, where you engaged with kids over there, if you can just share some more details about that and, give our audience some more insight into what exactly that project was about.
Well, this is a quite dear project for us, no? And basically, you have this NGO called Rural Development Trust that's been working for the last 50 years out of Anantapur, and they're doing a lot of great stuff there, no? Giving employment opportunities to handicapped and disadvantaged people, helping women to be themselves. Simply that they have a rural hospital which is having there like Madrid or Barcelona quality, and they have sports vertical on which they organize a rural league all around the around Anantapur district, where they play close to 3,000 boys and girls with support from LaLiga Foundation and our women's football area. We help them to develop the first all girls residential academy in, I think, in India. And also the concept is not to have girls all over India going there, is to help the best of those disadvantaged rural people who are playing in their leagues to have an opportunity to get better. So it's mostly focused in the development, in the better development of the area, in shaping lives more than in doing a high performance. So basically, from the beginning, this project had a strong relationship with Spain. So most of the finance comes from Spain. So for us, made all the sense to work with them because this strong relationship with Spain they have.
Yeah. Now, you've mentioned the countries that La Liga has its presence in outside Spain, and you've met and interacted with different kinds of and engaged with different kinds of fans across.
Yeah.
Is there anything that stands out for you when you come to India and when you see Indian fans here? Or, and if there is there something that you can share with us that, probably strikes out from other countries?
Basically, I've been focused in India, for the last 6 years. So what I can feel is Indian fans are really passionate, and that shows. India is a country of incredible contrasts, and you Indians know better than me. And football shows this in a sense. If you take the volume of audience or money that moves, football in India is a small sport compared than cricket. Cricket it has almost a monopoly of sports on TV in India. You could probably argue that the same will happen with football in other countries like Spain, say in Spain or Mexico or Egypt or you name it. So football fans, I think they need to prove it harder, in a sense that they feel themselves special. Surely they are also, most of them, if not all, they are also cricket fans, but this passion is there, and also the level of knowledge fans have is quite interesting, So basically, this is two elements I'll highlight, passion and knowledge of the game. And a third one is desire of having Indian football competing in a near future.
So coming to the fact that, almost concluding bits where, if I may ask you that the audience that's listening to this, I have majority of them are football fans, yes, and they closely keep an eye on what's happening in Indian football. So as a La Liga India head, definitely could be a mix of fans because they support their local teams as well as they support the leagues across. And we know the famous clubs from La Liga that have vast fan following in India as well. So what is it that probably you would like to tell them through this medium, and what are these fans can expect from La Liga India?
Well, of course, we need to keep improving, no, what we do, no, to build on what we have done, no. Basically, our more direct connection is what they know through our broadcaster, no, to they can watch our matches on the, now in Geo Cinema, Boot, and MTV, no, and Sports 8 through Sports 18 channel. So that's our more direct connection to them, but also through digital social media. No, that's there. We are being really active in social media in India. Indeed, India is the country in the world where we have more followers. Yeah, you can argue that's just about population, but it's not only that. It basically tells you a story of following a dedication to football. We are trying to get with new ideas of doing more fun events. Maybe it's not the time of doing huge events for 10, 15,000, 20,000 people as we did back in between 1916 and 1918 in Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. But we are working with the idea of doing smaller events for fans in different cities. No, so it's a way of having a direct connection, and we are really thinking to bring more La Liga teams to play friendly matches in India. No, I think we were the first of league to bring one of our teams when Girona played in Kerala a few years back. I think it was 2018. So this is basically the directions we had to work. No, is direct connection to the fan, both on ground events and digital and television, and to bring some a little of our excitement here in the future. It's not easy, as you know. It's not that easy to move a football team. And when you told the big names, it's not only not easy, it's very expensive. No, we had to be aware of that. No, it's not like you two doing 18 shows in a month. It's basically big teams. They have probably 3-4 dates available for friendly matches all over the year, and most of them focus in the preseason. So is not easy, but and that explains why since Bayern Munich play in the national team, I think was 15 years ago, I think 2010 or something like that, only Girona came. No, so and it's not because international leagues have no interest in India. We all do have an interest in India. No, it's just look at what we are doing and our German and English colleagues are doing here. We are all putting our eyes in the market, but things are not easy to develop.
Yeah, well, Mr. Antonio Jose, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best in all the projects that you're working on, and hopefully, may you be able to probably, try out more such projects, and best wishes on, especially on the project that's happening in Anantapur. And thank you for your time and for joining on the show.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, to all the lovely listeners, thank you. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of an off syllabus, probably, but as fans, we all are football lovers and football fans. And I'm sure most of you listening to the show are also those big Spanish club fans as well. And here's a perspective that Jose Antonio could bring in. Thank you once again. Please follow and subscribe to our podcast. We're available on all the audio leading platforms. You can listen to the one on your preferred ones. Thank you once again. I'm Siju signing off from the Totally Indian Football Show. Thank you.